Eid, the German word for oath. There are many terms in German for oath, but this one is plain and simple. This oath is our declaration of purpose to a prospering community at hand. As of January 2020 on a cold and windy Saturn, somewhere in the state of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society was born. Born out of the need for an educational Ossafolk community with the ability of free association. Free association being the ability to gather in good standing for religious and educational purpose of the advancement of our religion known as Asatru, without heavy commitment, but only one of ambition to participate in the ritual and workshops for the educational value. Understanding loyalty in the system of iron rule. Experience has taught us that many will never seek to submit or will give themselves willingly under the rule of one. Loyalty is a fickle matter, and it seems very few understand to have a loyalty following you must be a gold giver of sorts. This is quite different in modern times, and is based on the individual's will and tolerance of the current governance. Therefore, we seek to make the focus educational and build what we refer to as a blanket community. Kindreds, unorganized individuals, and groups can freely assemble and gather for religious purposes. We understand that committing oneself and membership is a drastic and life-altering ordeal. We would like to create a modern but ancestral connected atmosphere in the coming years for the rural folk. They are the men and women looking to start a family that can learn the ways and then form their own perceptions of focus Asatru in the modern times. We're feeling connected to a grounded local community in the state of Wisconsin. As of today, our existence and future are truly in our hands, and we must take charge of that with our intent to survive. We should no longer just concentrate on surviving, but thriving in the world of modernity. The survival mindset has long passed as the old age of gold. We must find ways of moving forward to secure the existence of our people. Looking at the current mainstream religions of today, we see a perfect example of conquest. Our idols are typically torn down and built with another religious preference. Ancient sites are vandalized in the motherlands, while ancient burials are built all over and forgotten, only to be found during reconstruction of decay. Although we should work to preserve, we should also work to build for our future. We should work to combine efforts of our individual homesteads, towns, communities, and others of such nature. We should trade freely amongst our people, and eventually we will rise as a collective, but hopefully never an empire, for empires fail and are always doomed to their own failure. Such as the tribes were, we can be again, even if it takes lifetimes of work and dedication. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Things are like always subject to change, things are always in the works. Some of what I did read to you was not exactly on script because I was reading from a basically notepad. But I hope you guys support us, like and share our videos, subscribe, and let's make this happen. This is Rit wishing you guys a good day. Hello, and welcome to this video. This is our big reveal finally. This is the day that we take all the hard work of the months that we have done, the ironing out of the details from both parties that we currently have on board. I would like to welcome you to our community project. I go by the name Rit, formerly Bjorn Rado, and I'd like to welcome you to the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society. This is our community project. There was a lot of thought put into this. about what we would want if we were able to get a focused Austro community going in the state of Wisconsin. And we figured this may be the best way to proceed. We've watched over the years that moving on to 100 to 200 acre compound lots may not be the way to go. This brings so many other complications. Although it is the old law, or the old times that you were subject to the laws of the chieftain or the Jarl, the ruler, so would you be subjected to the landowner, creating a certain dependency, especially in this day and age. So we thought, how is this different from a pastor living in a multi-million-dollar mansion, having mass amounts of followers that live in poverty? We understand that the land must be worked and things must be sacrificed for a prosperous community. But we're going to try to do this in a different way. So we have decided to put together a free association community of sorts. One of our goals is in which people of our cultural, religion, and philosophy can come together and learn, and we're hoping meet others in the process. Everyone always talks about learning the old ways and doing things. Well, there must be some kind of modern in this because we can never go back to the old way. We're trying to make this so whether you're a novice or an experienced heathen or pagan, and these terms are always subjective, I suggest you look up the meaning of them, such as heathen, pagan. But we're making this a simple introduction, so our past experience has been with the majority of organizations, they want you to commit 100% fully. And that is understandable. But this always comes into conflict with persons in some way or another. It binds the individuals to the whim of the chain of command and typically eliminates any room for self-reliance to be extended, but often do provide a stable foundation. We would like to have a community where your closest kin are the priority, or the local folk. It need not to worry about the heavy commitment that, oh, there's one banner syndrome on a national level. Although we see oaths and tribe and kin as one of the utmost important ideals, rarely can this be achieved when bound to somebody who decides to rule over you from so far away. But we'll touch on that in later videos, as well as the concepts of loyalty and mainly the 9 noble virtues and what they mean to us. Instead, we would like to encourage the individuals, kindreds, and unorganized groups of folk to come out and join us in participation of educational for ritual, events, and workshops. These pertain to our folk. In order to build communities, we must be a jack of all trades, or of sorts, but master of none, possibly not. Everything we would do is free of charge, of course, unless material needs to be provided. But usually the only thing we ask is your time, and if there are any instructions on our event pages or the Facebook, you may want to read them. And as usual, we will continue using Facebook until we can no longer do so due to the hostile nature of today's media. So you may ask, what are the goals of WRFS, or the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society? One of our primary goals of WRFS will be the education of the ritual kind, such as bloats and sumble, other rites and rituals, others being primitive skills like fire making for your ritual area or camping, since in this modern time we are a nature-based religion. The ability to successfully start a fire and leave the land little scarred is a lot harder than it sounds, as well as many people do not know the workings of a ritual fire, or let alone how to start fire without a man-made accelerant. We would also like to establish a communication and network, whether this be one-on-one or in groups. Or perhaps you're looking to create or join a kindred, or learn about runes in a more one-on-one space, instead of reading or watching videos online, where the person making the video has their own bias, intent, and purposes. Meeting in person will provide ample opportunity to do so in meeting others as well. So you may ask if WRFS is political. The short answer is no, but politics is part of the times, and making new friends along the way never hurt. Maybe you want to find that political circle or the wisdom of the people that have been there and done that. So we encourage you to do so, but we ask to respect the thoughts of our fellow folk who do not want to participate in politics, since these people do exist. Is WRFS folkish? Of course we are. We only allow Europeans to attend our events. We only allow people of Austrian Odinism origin, or some other equivalents, because there are some other European folk religions as well. But we also encourage you to bring people from other walks of life as well who may be interested in it or may want to find out more about it. What kind of community are we planning? We have determined that a blanket type community would be our best benefit. Where you say Joe is about 5 miles down the road and your car is busted. Well, Joe may be able to give you a ride to the auto parts store, about 10 miles away. This is what we would like to encourage. The guy down the road is heathen. You have met him in ritual and possibly other functions, but he can give you a ride to get parts for your car. And you just return the favor later, whether that be helping him or anything of that nature. In putting it this way, we hope to make a simple confederation of trading kindreds, clans, tribes, and individuals, which can be established without a large financial commitment or a national organization. And by doing this, we will establish our religion as a dominant force in society, possibly even creating a township of sorts in the next few decades, based on our own core values and religious beliefs. Therefore, we do need people whom are good at hands on, ritual based, and politically able. Again, the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society will never be a political vessel of any kind. We just seek to educate and bring others together. Will there be any online streams for many who may not be able to attend? Eventually, there may be. We would encourage you to make it out to one of our events. We are about an interaction in the state of Wisconsin and have no further ambition to spread beyond our own borders. We have determined this because we have seen what a heavy toll a national organization and heavy hand that at times they have to take. But by staying local, we believe in creating a local trade economy such as farmer markets and other products and successful businesses in local areas. Imagine going down the road and buying eggs from Sally, whom is a folkish heathen like you are. This can make a lot of sense to me. Barter and trade, or just paying with legal tender. Eventually, we hope to host a thing for our folk in the coming future to gain valuable feedback from the Wisconsin heathen communities, as well as possible the major bloats in the years to come to celebrate our holier times of the year, such as Yule or the Ostera or Midsummer. This is just some of the goals we hope to achieve here at WRFS, and we will hope that you will join us in the coming years for prosperity to make it possible.